It's your boy Bleeve. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 Never looking back since I changed my ways. I'm on that good life tip today. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world. I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love out of waterfalls. I'm living that good life after all. Yeah. La da da da. Good life, sitting by the fire. La da day. Good life, feeling that breeze. La da da da. Good life, taking you higher.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves. This is Bedtime with Bleeves, and Jesus Christ, we are in the middle of meme coin season, and it is getting out of its mind. Right now, on specific projects, some of them are just not mooning the way that you want, but others just continue to run. As a matter of fact, I deliberately haven't looked at a chart in a few hours because I wanted to take a fresh perspective on where we are when we start to check everything out. But let's go check it out. Bond investors fearing recession boost safety bets ahead of the FOMC. This, despite meme coin season, is the big news because this is going to predicate what happens next with meme coins and Bitcoin. The bond investors are fearing a recession. Risky assets are being shed. That should lead to a downward turn over here in crypto. But guess what? It's not really. The crypto market continues to kind of stay in that sideline pattern. And by the way, for those of you that didn't see me, I was running and taking a goddamn victory lap because if you guys remember our conversation this morning, we were talking about what was going to happen right here. We were live here at 8 o'clock talking about what was going to happen. And I said, this could happen, right? This could happen. The most likely scenario is this one right here. And if that's the most likely scenario, then what's going to happen? It's going to rip to the upside and we're going to take out shorts along the way, right? And son of a bitch, if it didn't happen, I love being right. I love when it's obvious, right? I love when you're looking at something and the obvious becomes true. Now, what we're looking at right now is possibly some calm before the storm. We're going through the overnight markets right now, and the overnight markets have not been kind so far. I'm not sure where all of your favorite stuff is trending yet. We're going to get into that in just a few minutes. Everything seems to have a little bit of a pump to it, but not our standard fare meme tokens. And the reason for that, high taxes. There's just high taxes on some of these tokens, causing it to wear down just a little bit. But we do have enough news. We do have enough good information coming out on some of these tokens that we know that there's going to be movement. Now, let me be the one to tell you the bad news for a lot of these cryptocurrencies, and they're going to be feeling it over the next couple of days. And do you know why? Because one place has tried to break the mold and they threw their money at it and they got it launched on time. Crypto.com has unveiled Amy, an AI-powered companion for crypto enthusiasts. So you can go to crypto.com and you can use Amy to talk about crypto. And crypto.com is not the only digital currency business to develop an AI product. Binance unveiled an AI-infused NFT art platform named Picasso. There's plenty of things going on, but a little bit crazy here that, we've been talking about AI, cutting edge AI stuff coming out, and we keep talking that we're the ones that are doing it. But guess what? Crypto.com they're not taking their time. Crypto.com has launched an AI that you can talk to about cryptocurrency. And a lot of people right there are looking at it like, oh my God, son of a bitch. Look, if you don't innovate, you get left behind. That's the rule, right? So, and by the way, it's not always the first to market. So there could be better, but being first to market is very important. But Dow futures up just a little bit. The market is sitting here silently waiting. Bitcoin season still. Meme coins popping off. We are still seeing all of this stuff happening. So 1.7% up on the day, 1.6% up on the day. Nothing's really going crazy in the altcoin market. Altcoins are probably going to break down pretty soon. We'll probably see that. But we're going to get into this stuff very, very shortly. Florida Democrat Lois Frankel, however, sold her First Republic stock before the sale. Democratic Congresswoman Lois Frankel sold First Republic stock and bought JP Morgan just before the bank sale. According to a financial disclosure report filed on April 28, Frankel sold between 1,001 and 15,000 in First Republic stock on March 16 and then bought between 1,000 and 15,000 in JP Morgan on March 22nd. Lois Frankel spoke to CNN about the purchases. She says her account is managed independently by a money manager who buys and sells stocks at his discretion. And she's not facing any investigations, but here it is. And just so you guys know, here is what you really, AOC, Matt Gaetz, you're about to see something incredible. AOC and Matt Gaetz are co-sponsoring a bill that will ban Congress members from owning and trading stocks. Now, here is the question. Which of these shitbags, and there's 434 of them, are going to vote no? This is going to be incredible. Speaking of incredible, there she is right there. AOC. I'm just kidding. She's a weirdo. And so is he. One of them dances on rooftops. One of them dances on rooftops with 17-year-olds in different states. They're a weird little bag. But here's the funny thing. If you can work together, then you can accomplish a whole lot. And I think the start of watching the far left and the far right, who are actually more aligned than you might think, is going to be interesting over the next couple of months. And in fact, I keep seeing not just Matt Gaetz, but Marjorie Taylor Greene seems to be willing to work with some of the less weird Democrats to get some shit accomplished. So I am interested to see what Congress is going to do. But anybody who votes no, vote them out. This is an important bill, and this is taking the power back from them and giving a little bit back to the people. So should be fun. Should be fun. Very interesting. Coinbase, by the way, has left the United States and has now launched an international perpetual exchange. And they're starting with 5x leverage, which is a pretty safe. It's a pretty safe number. So interesting stuff going on with Coinbase. Parabolic advance for Bitcoin now on the table as a bullish technical indicator flashes. So according to TechDev, he says, according to the analyst, the DXY chart is now flashing a signal that has historically marked the beginning of a fresh Bitcoin bull run. The yellow arrows aren't halving dates. They're the liquidity signals which preceded each parabolic advance to new highs in Bitcoin, and one just flashed. Explains that the specific liquidity event is the CN10Y DXY breaking over its 60-week moving average, has correlated with China's credit impulse and historically led to around 3.5 global liquidity cycle. This ratio appears a rotated version of Bitcoin's chart. So that would tell me, or at least lend itself to, Bitcoin is about to rip. So if that's the case, then rest in peace, sellers, is all I can say. Now, the big question of the day is meme coin season back. Here's what the numbers say. Meme coins are rallying once more with 1,000% increases in a matter of hours, now becoming the order of the day. With so many new memes performing well in the market, it's starting to look like a repeat of the infamous 2021 meme coin season. However, unlike in 2021, a whole new set of tokens are leading the charge this time around. Before Pepe launched in mid-April, meme coins had become another fixture in the market. Since Pepe's success, a number of other meme coins have entered the market, and many have found success as well as multiple chains. An example is AI Doge that launched on the Arbitrum blockchain around the same time as Pepe, and in 2 weeks that followed, the price of the cryptocurrency rose 100x. Now you have Wojak, Shibai. There's a whole list of new tokens out here. While it seems that the meme coin season is back in full bloom, the original meme coins are not enjoying any action. Instead, cryptocurrencies such as Doge and Shiba are still seeing losses during a time when these new meme coins are performing incredibly well. For example, Doge is changing hands at a price of 7.8 cents at the time of this writing, with 24-hour losses of 0.84% and a 7-day loss of 0.08. In the same vein, SHIB is down 1.28 in the last day and has performed even worse on the weekly time frame, down about 3%. So obviously investors are looking towards newer meme tokens in a bid to catch the next 100S. The coins like Doge and SHIB have already grown too much to give them much return, hence the reason why new meme coins are getting all the attention right now. So are we in meme coin season? We certainly are. We are having quite the meme coin season, and now it's time to look and see what's going on in this market. We've got Volt still sitting around 1037. Haven't really seen any movement out of it yet. 64 million market cap. Certainly looking to see a nice reversal on that. DGen is playing out at 2083, 12,000% increase in the 24-hour window, but it's really kind of waned over time, down to a 245,000 market cap, 50K total liquidity. This might just be this might just not be a good one. Poo, on the other hand, has been soaring for the last 24 hours and for the last bunch of days, and continues to move. Now, it drew back from about 12 million market cap to a 9.8, almost 10 million market cap right now. This a big red candle just appeared, and you can see over here, Ethereum is down about, that's going to be about $15 from where it was the last time I checked. Wojak, no movement, still sitting around 99.38. Looks like it's been kind of at this little edge right here for the last bunch of hours. Bobo up a little bit. I think it was at 23. Now it's at 25. So yeah, it's up just a little bit in the last couple of hours. So we're seeing some life over there. Musk has had a big turnaround, up 74% on the day. From I think it kind of played itself down pretty far in the last couple of days, but I think this one was one of those where I said, like, this is a $3 million market cap token, which I think is going to just rip at some point because it's the name Musk and because it's in the meme market. I think that it's going to get a little traction behind it. Well, it's got $2 million in volume. It's got $4.7 million in total market cap, and it has made a reversal. Now, if it uses the 50-day SMA and it starts to bounce off of that and it starts to mint newer highs, then it certainly is off to the races. So there's definitely some upside right now on Musk. Baby Bob is at 39.70 right now. Looks like it's spiked up to about 62.16 a little earlier, but as you can see right here, that's Jared from Subway, and the Jared from Subway bot is over here doing small trades on Baby Bob to maybe try to scalp a little bit off of it and see what it can get. A nice little run up, but it did not sustain. And of course, every time it runs up, some in here, I think. Yeah. So I have like $500, I think. Yeah, I've got about $500 in tokens. So Y'all make this shit moon. Come on. But next up is Cult. Cult's trading at 60.58. Now, when you woke up this morning, Cult was almost at, and this, by the way, was a bot also. And you can see here from the wicking here that was not going to sustain. There's still no thirst for Cult. Remember, if you guys remember and go back a long way, I called it and I told you that there's no chance that it's going to trade over 1,400 for a long period of time. And you know what? Here we are a year later, and it still hasn't done it. Now, it has reversed and changed some of the way that it does stuff. It's changed a lot about its whole philosophy, but it hasn't been enough yet to make this thing start to really run. But Elon this morning did a tweet that said cult/culture, and that caused it to spike up. Good opportunity for anybody who was in down here to make a play, but it has not sustained itself. Looks like it's probably heading back down. If, however, it bounces off of that 50 SMA, which is crossing over right here into a bullish pattern, then maybe we could see some more upside, but that remains to be seen. I still don't have a lot of confidence in Cult. I like that they've turned it around, but they still have to perform and they still have to do something. So Wonka's up 27% at 81.61. This is one of the new ones. It looks like it's ready to, this is continuing to move towards the upside. So there's some potential here that Willie is going to get Wonka. So you never really know with these, but it's worth throwing $100 and seeing what happens. $340,000 market cap. So as a matter of fact, as soon as we get out of here, if it's down any at all, then I'm going to get in with $200 and just see what happens. Terra 30.57, Cato 13.45. WAGMI continues to fall 38.87. Not doing itself any favors. Really, it doesn't help. You can't. Look. We're all in the same space. We're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to we're all trying to get our project to move, and it doesn't help when you come out here trying to shit on everybody else's project. I mean, maybe you don't need the support or want the support of the community, but you should, because these are the people that have been with you since the beginning. So, and some of them are in other projects and have a bag in other projects, and it's not very good to just openly disrespect people in this space. That's all I got to say about it. Decanect trading at 3.6 cents. Decanect's got something big working, by the way, and I know I've said that for a long period of time because it's still not ready, but we're getting real close to it being ready, and when it is, it's going to be Amy level, at least. Lillian at 35.19. Lillian launched June 24th. Bone 92.90. No life whatsoever. Still got a decent enough trading volume, but as you can see right here, there's just no thirst right now for Bone. Floki 31.79. Floki seems DOA right now. Probably going to have another move to the downside, since it's not really, it could bounce off of this, but I'm thinking it's more likely now that we're going to start seeing another downward move back down here to this 23 level on the 200 SMA, because people are going to get tired and people are going to be seeing Pepe continue to pump, and all these different tokens continue to pump, except for Floki. So I feel like that's probably going to lead some people to try to make a little bit off of this. SHIB is down, added a 0 again. BRL has like no trade volume in the last 24 hours. So down to 73.66 cents. Nobody look, and here's the thing: nobody wants to pay 10% and 12% sales tax on a token when they can just get in for free. I mean, you're giving 22% to the development team, and the development team, we haven't really seen anything other than Bulldozer yet. So there has to be something. And some of this, by the way, goes back to if you go look at the website, you can see here on the BRL that some of this money is going into these pending rewards over here. So, there is USDC that's being generated by this. Projected APR 13.51% right now. So there is something happening here. And, the thing about it is, I'm not ready to claim it yet, so we're going to leave it there. But there has to be more trade volume. If there's more trade volume, then there's more APR, APY, whatever you call it now. So, hopefully we see BRL start to reverse a little bit. I think the last time I talked to anybody seriously about it, I think was in February about a new thing happening. And then they had some events in March, I want to say, in London. And then since then, it's been quite a little bit silent. Steve's still putting out videos, AI generated content. If you haven't been paying attention, it's that scripted stuff that comes from ChatGPT. You can see that, by the way, because ChatGPT has a certain way of doing stuff, and I think that's what he's doing right now is following that script. Which more power to him. I've done a couple of them that way. I didn't have fun making them, which was the problem. So I figured just riff it and see what happens. And hey, if somebody passes me up, I don't give a shit. It's not going to matter to me. You know what I mean? BRL, not really moving right now, but this is a long-term game, and we still got a long time left. So MMAI 2774 just continuing to decline. I haven't seen any upside. I haven't seen any momentum coming, and the drop off here has been rapid and sharp. And really, again, this is another one, 5 and 10% tax. I think people just, when you have a bunch of no tax memes that are going crazy, make your money. You know what I mean? 1700 over here on NGN, also 10% and 10%. Bob, no tax, 53.53. Bob has 12 million in trading volume right now. Bob has the opportunity to take off. I haven't seen it take off yet, though. And I thought that I would have seen, because people talk to me about Bob constantly, like it's going to rip. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I certainly am waiting, and I would like to see it rip. I'd certainly be interested to see how it plays out. So if it's going to rip, I'm holding on. So let's see something happen. Pepe, same thing, 1124. Now, here's the thing about Pepe. Pepe had been, up until earlier today, had been respecting this trend line. And then the trend line broke just for a little bit, and then it came back in, and it had another run up to, let's call it around 1260, 12, something like that. And then it broke back down. So now we have to look at that trend line and say, well, that trend line's probably more out like this. So now if we continue, all we've done is, remember, I think I was pretty aggressive with that because it really hadn't had a chance to play out that much. Now we have a really good sort of trend line here, and we can see here the settling right here, right here, right here, right here. So now we have the same pattern here if you're on Pepe, okay? So I don't want to overstate this at all, really. But I mean, guys, nobody here is blind, right? Like, you can all see what's happening here. This is right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. We are moving up an ascending wedge, and we are capping out across the top right here, with even capping out a few hours ago on the top right there. This thing looks like it's ready to explode. Now, that does not mean that it will explode, by the way. Just because I'm saying that doesn't make it true. Can't manifest it to reality. I pretend like I can, but I can't. The thing is, this thing has been minting higher tops up here. So my feeling was that maybe this would make a run like that, but it didn't. It got a little bit weak, which it did over here too. So is this the moment where we get into a big rip overnight? Is this where, because we're going to have a few hours over here, and if we don't keep going up, then we will start to break some support. Now, if you look here, remember 1180 was an important line. That 1180 line, if we break, is going to be bearish. That'll be the first real bearish sign that you're seeing on Pepe. And we have seen some red dots printing on everybody who hates Pepe's I fucking hate Pepe charts. So there are a lot of people that are out here crybabying about it because they hate the goddamn thing. But here it is right here. We're inside this little channel right here, and we've minted these two candles. Now, when you look at the 4 hours, you're not concerned. You shouldn't be concerned in the 4 hours, right? Because we're still touching this. We haven't minted any. You need a couple of consecutive candles outside of 1182, and we haven't really had that yet. So we've had some really good luck so far. But I think at this point, Pepe is going to have to turn around pretty quick, or we're going to start seeing some lower downside. Now, a couple hours ago, I don't know if I can even go back that far, but a couple hours ago, it was running pretty well, trading around 1250, 1260, I want to say, after having settled back down just a little bit. And it seemed like maybe it was off and maybe it was going to start ripping a little bit. It started to have this little run or this little move, and then it just kind of that was it. And now it's been downside since then, and quite a bit of sell-off. And by the way, if you have not been paying attention, you are witnessing a bit of a FUD campaign from a lot of people who were talking a lot of shit about Pepe. For people who don't care about it, they've been staring at charts for a long time, trying to find a place where they can go, see, I told you. And one of them today was, for those of you that don't know, Zero Hedge. He's an economist by trade, but he's also one of these radical sort of far right influencer types. Uses Tyler Durden, or did use Tyler Durden as his name on his website and stuff like that for a long time. But again, finance guy first and foremost, does not like meme coins. Been talking shit about Pepe since the beginning. Posted a video, posted a thing today showing how it's minting red dots, meaning that it's going bearish and that it's about to crash and stuff like that. And it's done that a couple times so far. And each time it's minted one of those red candles, the red candle has disappeared kind of right after. So he hasn't been right yet. So, but here's the thing. If you keep shitting them out, eventually you're going to be right. Right. So we'll see whether he's right or not. At 11:28, I think, look, here's what I think. Okay. What I think is that Pepe is about to run super fucking hard one more time. I don't know if it's going to be a last ditch sort of move. I don't know if that's kind of in the cards right now. And by the way, a lot of people are calling this a double top because of this wick up here, but it's settling right here across. So that's why I disagree with that assessment. So, and we can remove that just to point this out. It's moving to the upside. So we should see some positive flow back to the upside in the next couple of hours. I would think that it's going to get itself back in line, get its shit together, unless it breaks this line. If it breaks this line, then it's not all over, but then it's going to have to fall down here to the nines. It could also cross over the next couple of hours and start hitting this for support, the 50 SMA. So there is some significant possibility of downside, and there's not waning interest in Pepe, but there was an insane sort of craziness out of Pepe that's now moving around to a bunch of other tokens. And the other part to that, while we're talking about it, is that with Pepe, the other part that you're seeing is a kind of a lull before something happens, because tomorrow is FOMC day. So we might see, and by the way, if you look over here before I finish that thought, it is FOMC day, but if you look over here, this is all happening overnight. So if you're in the United States, then 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, that's moon time over here. Look at this. This is middle of the night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's when you're mooning over here. This is overseas that's making Pepe pump. So if the Chinese market, if the Asian market, if the Indian market, if the Arabic markets, and all the Middle Eastern markets, and if the European markets are feeling good, then Pepe will run again. If not, then Pepe's going to get shit on again by a weak, paper-handed American market that just sells everything because they're weak-handed. I mean, that's all you can say at this point. They've been shocked and beaten down, etc., by a market that's very difficult to maintain. And even though things are coming in very good, you can have 1,000 companies come in with great earnings, and then one company that they want to be mad at doesn't come back with the right numbers, and then they're dumping everything. Okay. And then it's then it's like, oh my God, the market's crashing. Again, like, guys, you've been watching it with me for the last bunch of days. The earnings whisper, that's ridiculous. It's the biggest load of bullshit that you've ever seen. If you go down the list of the earnings whisper for the last bunch of days, it's been ridiculous. AMD beats, Match Group beats, Energy Transfer 19 billion. This one is barely. This is barely, right? A miss. Ford Motor beats, Chesapeake Energy beats, Livent beats, Paycom beats, Starbucks beats, Supermicro guides above estimates beats, Lumen misses. Lumen is a miss. It was 10 cents a share and ended up at 12 cents a share. Caesar Gambling actually beat, even though it says did not beat, because the earnings whisperer made up their own fucking number. But it was 9 cents a share on 6 cents a share. Ecolab beats, Cummins beats, Cheniere Energy beats, Anco beats, Alliance reports 145 on 120. It beats. Marriott beats. Sunoco 140. Sunoco rips. Jesus Christ. Molson Coors Brewing beats. Uber misses. Was a loss of 8 cents a share on a consensus of 10 cents. So it did hit. Fuck these guys. Like, Jesus Christ. This, oh my God. These fucking people. Pfizer beats, Scorpio beats. Look at this. I mean, everybody's beating. So all of this talk about this crashing economy, all this kind of stuff is ridiculous. It's just not real. This is manufactured outrage, and we're continuing to see it. Now here's the thing. The question for tomorrow is, what is Jerome Powell going to do? Let's move on from Pepe, though. Optimus at 2709, also an Elon token, also having some downward pressure. Now, guys, I was talking about this, and this had been very, very good in this thing right here. So it had been bouncing, and then it bounced again, and then it bounced again, and then it just ran out of steam. It came here, it bounced about halfway to the heart line, and then after that, it just tanked and started coming back down, bouncing off of the 50-day SMA a couple of times, but it has not been able to keep up with the 50-day SMA. Really, I think that, one of the things about these tokens is that you really need some kind of impetus, and that impetus for Optimus is Elon Musk. So if Elon Musk makes a post about Optimus, the robot, then this thing will start mooning on a dime. Like, you will just be like, oh my God. But until then, you might have a little bit of a struggle maintaining. Now, you can stay enthused, you can stay excited, and you can continue to get listings, which they will do, and that will keep moving it to the upside. But when you want that real big rip is going to come from Elon Musk talking about it. That's really where it's going to come from. GME, GameStop at 1156, 1.15 million market cap, 150 in liquidity, but 3.28 million in overall. Now look at this right here. You can see that it started on a nice little run. Then it came down. And now the question is, what's going to happen? It's got a green candle right here. Is it at the bottom yet? Has it found its bottom? And will it start to bounce from there? And will it start to create and add value? Now, a lot of people from Wall Street Bets and Wall Street Baby are maxis on this token. So why it's got $3 million worth of trade volume, but it can't seem to move, I don't know. But I think that this is just a byproduct of a market that weakened all of a sudden as we headed into, for the last 2 days, the FOMC. So I think that when we get the results of the FOMC tomorrow and we have some clarity in the market for the American sector, so that the American sector is not a leech. And to be fair, like if you're watching the American market right now, it's been basically a blood-sucking leech on cryptocurrency, because what you see, or what you have seen, is you see, like, for example, and I say this again, just go back to the time frames on Pepe. Pepe overnight pumping. When it gets to the American market right here, what happens? All the way down all day long until we get to the overseas markets, and then it opens back up all night long. And then what happens? America wakes up, and then boom, 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 down. Today, it actually opened up and did okay, but this was in outside of American hours, and this was American hours. This down here, again, it's just been like that for a while right now. The American market is weak, paper-handed hose, and you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it because they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. They've been doing this shit for a long time, so we can joke about it and not like it, but it's going to be a pump, and then the American market might dump. So if we can get the FOMC and we get some positive information tomorrow, which, by the way, remember the numbers come out at 1 o'clock, and then Jerome Powell's speech is at 1:30. So we'll have the numbers a half hour before Jerome comes on, and you're going to see some radical movement out of the market from 1 o'clock to like 1:15. Once we get the number, crypto's going to move in one direction or another, and it'll go rapidly. And then around 1:15, it'll go the opposite direction. And I think it's just shorts and longs trying to wreck each other. And then we'll get him on stage, and everything that he says is bearish, the price will go down. Everything he says is dovish, the price will go up. And I do think that one of the things that is on the table for them that they're going to have to take a long, hard look at is they're going to have to say, we're going to pause rate hikes. And if they say that we're going to pause rate hikes, then that's going to tell the markets that the worst is probably behind us. And that's not the message that they want to deliver to people. So it'll be interesting to see how he addresses it tomorrow, because that's how this thing plays out every time. He's gonna tip his cap in one direction or another, and then we're gonna have to deal with the fallout. And I think that he's gonna try his best to stay as hawkish as he possibly can, while at the same time reminding the markets that 2% is the number, 2% is the number, 2% is the number, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. And then he'll just leave it as vague as he can with that kind of shit. So now Nezuko came down a long way, was trading about twice as high in this 27.35 range, did come down, tested the 200 SMA, rejected there, bounced back up. Now it's testing the 50 SMA as resistance. What it should or needs to do, of course, is to flip this and turn it into support. This is something from 422. So it's only 8-9 days old. So it's still got some opportunity to have another big run. And it is an anime token, and I do think that it's due for a big run. But again, if you start looking around, GME, faded, Nezuko, faded, Pepe has a little bit of a fade going. Just in the last 2 days, by the way. I'm not saying overall. Bob, fading. All of these meme tokens were having that little fade moment. And then Poo started to take off. And people got behind Poo because they said, oh, shit. But it was fading. You can see it here. This is earlier today up until 9 o'clock this morning. Like it had a big pump. And then, of course, it dumped. And now it's building back. Wojak, up 170% on the day. Same thing. American market, of course, it came down during the American market. Bobo also having a decent run, 6 million in trading volume, 11.8 million. Remember we did this morning, and I said, I would not buy right now. And that was right here. Boy, did I fuck that one up. Because Bobo just decided to take off. It doesn't make any sense for it to take off like that, by the way. So that's just one of those things where you're just like, Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous. The fact that it happened like that, nonsense. But hey, man, make your money. You know what I mean? It could happen to any one of these tokens at any time at this point. So that's what's going on. Now, on to the broader market. Bitcoin, 28,585. Probably no movement one way or another. If we do get a move, it's going to be a rip. And it's going to be a rip to knock out longs or shorts. And again, you don't need a heat map to know this got wiped out earlier, right? This one got wiped out earlier. So the logical move is to try to wipe these out. But if that's the logical move, then there probably will be a move to the downside. And it probably won't even be a downside move. What we're probably going to see is just this kind of chop going sideways. Maybe a little sort of downward pressure because we've got this rounding that's happening on the top of this, on these wicks. So at a guess, I would say that we're due for a lot of sideways sort of action around this 28.5. And then somebody's going to get crazy at some point, and they're going to try to start breaking some longs or some shorts. I don't know. I mean, again, I can't tell you which direction this one's going to go right now. I think the market wants to go up. I think the market definitely wants to go up. I know that the investors want it to go up. Institutional, I think everybody really wants to see it start to move towards the upside. And I think that bearish sort of stuff is probably a little bit behind us. And I think that we've got another couple of banks that are about ready to fall. So I think Bitcoin is probably going to get on another run. Now, JP Morgan, of course, took over First Reserve Bank, which means that one of the largest banks to ever collapse was taken over by one of the largest banks, period, ever. And that means that JP Morgan just got even bigger. $700 billion sale. So that shit's crazy. It's just out of control. And it's a testament to what's wrong with America now. Remember, this is the oligarchy right now. This is the oligarchy. And all they're doing at this point is taking and taking and taking. And they're accumulating. And they're just continuing to trade off the backs of you. And the government should be stopping them, and they're not. So there we are. So anyway, Poo is the big winner for the day, 356%. Bobo starting to get it's continuing to run right now. Just went up $1 million in market cap. And remember, it was 28 just a minute ago, so it went up about almost 10% in that minute. Wojak is still moving. Down a little bit from earlier, but it wasn't an all-time high earlier. So, and Wojak is correcting. I don't know how far down it will correct, if it does correct down too far. Musk seems like maybe it's Musk's turn right now. I don't know for sure. It's tiny reversal here right now. And generally, when you see that and you get it over the 50, then it means it's coming. But so that looks like it might be the next one. Wonka, maybe 333,000 market cap. Not a huge one. I think this one probably dies on the vine. I don't know that this one finds its way. Same thing with Baby Bob. Like, I'm not sure that it finds its way. 300,000 market cap. Maybe it continues to soar. Maybe it starts to get Jared from Subway's in here doing this shit, but hasn't had any buy or sell in 20 minutes now. So. That volume, you can't maintain, you can't do anything with 150,000 in volume, much less than that. It's very, very difficult. So, I guess that's where everything is. Pepe starting to move. It looks like a little bit towards the upside. Again, like Pepe doesn't have to do very much, just needs to kind of get a bounce off of here and get itself back up into play here. You can see right there. Like to get it back over the 50 SMA on the 15-minute. That would be a bullish sort of symbol. And then get over this 1180 line right here and start to use this as support and start bouncing its way back up. That would be optimal. As long as it doesn't break this line right here, then who gives a shit? Let it just continue to edge its way up until it's, up here, and then oh well. But tomorrow, I think we're going to have a good day. I think it's going to rip. So let's check out Luna Classic. Oh, you know what? I did see that Luna Classic was having a little bit of a recovery. So yeah, we can check that out for a second. Luna's down to 10,598. Luna had a nice little run the last couple days, but it wasn't sustained. I mean, it ran up here to almost 11,907 and then collapsed all the way back down and then built its way back up again. And then now it's just back down here and there's no enthusiasm right now. So this is a very, very odd market. So I wouldn't put too much into this. Right now, I mean, look up and down here, and you see it's mostly red. It's mostly red. There's this weird sort of outlier thing happening right now with meme coins. I mean, you just see what happens right here. All right, here's a couple questions here. How can a zero tax token do good if the dev does not show up much what can the community do to build it? Nothing. The community can do a little bit or something. And Luna Classic is assuredly not dead. That's ridiculous. Luna Classic still has a $750 million market cap, and every token that you're in, David, wishes they had a $750 million market cap. Luna Classic is not dead. Luna Classic will have another good run. Once they start to put the repeg, which they're working on right now, once the repeg is in place, then you're probably going to start to see a little bit of a pump. It's not going to be, you'll see one of those big moves because Binance, I think, just burned 1.2 billion tokens. But look, 1.2 billion tokens isn't shit. Like, you need to burn trillions and trillions and trillions of tokens. So, I think what you're going to end up seeing is you're going to see the repeg happen to USTC. And then from USTC repeg, you're going to start to see significant burns start to happen. And then from there, all you have to do is maintain a $750 million market cap and then cut your supply in half, and the total dollar goes back to double. And then the value of your token thus doubles. And as you burn half of that again, then it doubles again. And now you're up 4x from where you originally are. So there you go. It's a question of how many tokens are going to be left at the end, and it'll just end up being fine. So it's like any one of these things. We get a little hopium. We get a little, Philip said hopium. We get a little hopium in our minds, and we think that, maybe something crazy could happen. Maybe they can do something. And you saw me, you saw Adam, you saw Austin, you saw Rodney. Like, we were all looking at it. You saw Classy. We were all looking at it like, they could do something crazy with this shit. Well, then it turns out that they're really not interested in doing something crazy. They want to rebuild the entire ecosystem. So now it's about rebuilding that entire ecosystem. So that's what's happening right now. We're on the Wojak train, man. Wojak is having a nice little run today. Baby Bob, not as much, but we're certainly hoping for it. Crypto Hound in the house. Volt is, guys, we're days away from the Volt run. I think we're days away from it. The best thing that happened actually is that it's going to happen after the FOMC, because I think we need the shakeout right there before anything's really going to happen. So real good to see that. Frank Q in the house. Damien, Baby Bob getting ready to run. I'd like to see it run. I put $500 in because I wanted to support you guys. So I would like to see it run. And I think it'd be a good time. Look, anytime these meme coins start running, I think it's a good time. It's great for everybody to see these meme coins having these moments. Like, they don't last. They're not going to last. There's nothing about Pepe that's going to last. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't be here for a long time. Baby Bob doesn't mean that it can't be here for a long time, but that's a reductive move off of Bob. So I would think that Bob has the better chance of going to 300 million and Baby Bob to 3 million. So, that seems more like it. So that would appear to me to be like a more realistic sort of option. So, but anyway, we've got about 2.5 years of this market going crazy. So just get ready for it. Make sure that you're invested accordingly. Make sure that you're making smart plays. Make sure that you take advantage. One of the things that I didn't do because I didn't recognize 2 days ago the push Luna Classic prediction by the end of the year. I think that we're going to see a significant run. So I think that about 6x from where it is right now. And I know that's not a whole lot overall, but I don't expect it to have an incredible move. I expect it to have, that's going to be an incredible move for it by the end of this year at this point, I think. Now, the other thing is there's upside there that the potential, it depends on how many tokens they burn when they first remerge back to USTC or with an AFT, if that's what they do. However they merge it, that's going to be the telling tale. So I don't know enough about what the real plan is, just that they've voted on it and they decided it's time, so they're going to do it. But here's the thing, if it doesn't work, what's it going to do? You know what I mean? Like I don't think people understand, like, USTC has to be used for something. Luna Classic has to be used for something. Just having them together doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, believes that 1 million market cap, Baby Bob will pay for a Bob billboard in New York City. I wouldn't waste the money. I wouldn't waste the money on that. That do a buyback and a burn or something like that. I mean, you could do it, but I'm just saying that I'm not a fan of look. The billboards have not worked. Not in the bear market. When we're in a confirmed bull market and you need hodlers and we're getting more mass acceptance, then that would be a perfect thing to do. I'm not a fan of doing it in this market right now. But you know what? I would like to be proven wrong about it. When are we going to see a Believes token? It's in the works. Spoiler alert, there is something in the works. I don't know if I'm ever going to launch it. I don't know if it'll actually, it's got to do something. I got to be happy with what it does. Like, I'm not trying to take your money. I want, by the way, I want your money. I want everybody here to be a member in the channel. I want you to be a subscriber to the channel. I want $5, $10, $15, $20 a month from you for membership so that I can continue to provide you with content. I want those things. And if you make a whole bunch of money off of a crypto and something that I'm talking about, get you excited about something and you get rich off of it, then I expect you to go into the description below, find my crypto wallet and fill that sumbitch up. I would expect you guys to do that as appreciation if I give you something that makes you a whole bunch of money. But I'm not going to launch a token that doesn't do anything. And I'm actually in conversation with somebody who does have an idea for what it can do, but it's going to take me a little bit of time to make some shit happen before I can do anything with it. And thank you for the 5 memberships, guys. 5 memberships just being distributed to people in the chat. I certainly appreciate that. And who do we have here? We got King B Crypto was gifted a membership. CEO 100. Y'all some bitches better start being members here permanently. King Crypto, man, you better become like a true believer legend or something like that, man. Come on now. So we've got Philip Michella, Man Watching TV, F and Daniel, all gifted memberships by Richard Nelson. Thank you so much, Richard. I appreciate you. Rich Jones here with $10 bomb. Plebe is moving. When is you know what? They don't give me the calendar. I don't have the calendar date, man. It's not going to be this year. I would think that if anything, it would be the last time. Here's one for David Hammaker. The last time there was a token put together, we have to we could do the math on it. There were 1 billion Luna tokens when Terra and Luna were merged together. There were 1 billion tokens. That was in October of 2020. In April, no, I'm sorry, it was in September of 2019. It was in 2019. Or is it 2022? Yeah, it was in September of 2020. Sorry. And then in April of 2022, Terra Luna collapsed. When it collapsed, it had burned 65% of the tokens. So it burned 65% of its circulating supply over the course of what amounted to, 1.5 years. So in 1.5 years, it burned 65% of its circulating supply. So at the current market cap, how many tokens are there? 7 trillion? So if there's 7 trillion tokens, and we multiply that by 0.65, that means there's going to be 3 trillion left. So we're going to take 3 trillion off of that. So that would leave the price, if we burned off that supply down to 3 trillion tokens, roughly, then the price would be 3,000. It'd be 403. So it would not be huge, but it would be on its way. So then if it continued to burn to burn tokens, then it would continue to do the same thing for another year and a half, and it would burn 65% of those. And if it burns 65% of those, that would put it down under $1 trillion into the billions, which would mean that it would be about 10 cents a token or a penny a token. So 3 years seems like a reasonable time to say that it'll be a penny. And if that's the case, then it would have to do 100x more, which would be another 65% one more time over. So 4.5 years. So in 4.5 years, Luna Classic at the pace that it was going before could be at $1. That's assuming that there's no massive other burns that are taking place. And remember, we have to make sure that nothing ever gets minted or anything like that. And we're doing that at a $750 million market cap. If for any reason it goes to a $7.5 billion market cap, then 3 years instead of 4.5 years. So, and that's of course if once they get the blockchain working. So there is a path for Luna Classic to get to $1. It's just not going to get to $7 trillion market cap. You have to burn some supply and some significant supply. So if you do that, then something great will probably happen. So, but anyway, that's my time, guys. This is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. After I do my exit video, if you guys would please make sure you hit the like button on the way out, and then make sure that you leave a small comment down below saying that you're vaulted, saying that you're with Pepe, whatever token you think is the token. Go put it down in the comments down below. I'm testing this out to see if it trends the video a little bit more. And with that, I will see you guys for breakfast in the morning.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck look like the Loch Ness. What are we doing? I'm about to fall out, boy, and the proof's in the pudding. So, can we forget about the